Hello, hello. Hey, family. How are you? It is your girl, Lachey Taylor. I am back again. I usually do these shows earlier in the day, in the AM. However, it's been a crazy sales week at work. So, this is the best I can do for you. This is how you get me. I actually want to burn some Palo Santo just to clear the energy, clear the air. It has been a super demanding week for me. It already feels like a week and it's Tuesday. I just closed on a sale at work, and as happy as I am to have closed on it, I'm really glad that it's over because towards the end it was a little bit sticky. So I'm just here to relax. No, but we're going to talk. Woo! That smoke. So we are going to talk day 12 of the watermelon washout cleanse briefly, and we're going to get into A-Game. I want to know if I can share my screen on here because to talk A-Game, I'm not super familiar with. I think I am able to. I'll get to that. But anyways, day 12 of the watermelon juice cleanse. I have actually did this. Like, no faking it. I have been doing nothing but drinking watermelon juice, and I've been drinking lots of it. And every day, it seems like I am met with a challenge of the day. Like, I am met with a challenge every day. It seems like the more disciplined I strive to be on this cleanse, the more obstacles are just kind of thrown my way to see how strong I really am. And it doesn't feel good and it's not fun having to deal with them at the time. But I'm super grateful that no matter what life has tried to throw at me since I have started this, no matter what temptations I have been met with, no matter what circumstance I have been met with, no matter uh that voice in my head that wants to just sabotage, like that inner addict, no matter what happens, my spirit has really taken the wheel. Like, my spirit is like, no, we're not doing this. We're not playing these games. We're not repeating these cycles. We're not doing it. And the child in me is listening. That is what I liken this experience to, is like the higher self really taking charge, like really, really thinking like, no, I am done with the cycles. You have health issues. Like, we really want to experience vitality. We really want to experience just a heightened state of being. We want to see what life is like when our womb is always healthy, no matter what. We want to experience the most perfect, clear skin. We want to experience the highest quality breathing possible. We want the strongest heart. We want the most filtering, highest functioning kidneys and adrenal glands. We want a healthy liver. We want a liver that filters out blood greater than it was designed to. That is where I'm at with it. Like, I want to feel my highest and greatest. And I am on my way there. It is truly and genuinely possible for me to feel my highest and my greatest because I am on day 12 of cleansing and I already feel so much better physically than how I started. If you go and watch my interview with Tiger Carper, I go in deeper as to why I started to just dive all in and commit to watermelon, because I was gonna do all fruit. Then I decided watermelon because I know watermelon is it's mono eating. It's gonna give me the highest healing. So it's a struggle. It's hard, but so is being sick, so is being unhealthy, so is not having mental clarity, so is having all of this brain fog, so is not feeling good about ourselves because we are always going against our greatest and higher good. Like that is all hard too. And we choose that every single day. We choose to do what is not good for our physical health for the long term. So it's really about parenting and inner parenting. So saying no to the temptations, saying no to the things that we know it does not serve us. Saying no to instant gratification and saying yes to delayed gratification, because we know that as long as we're patient and as long as we wait and as long as we continue to make decisions that prove that we love ourselves more and more each day, there is a reward at the end of that. And I'm sorry, my neighborhood is so loud. You guys are going to hear it all. Hey, Queen Nine, the fit model. I hope you're well. S. Bird says, I experience that every time. It's definitely a struggle. I absolutely agree. So, I've had so many challenges over the past couple of days, but I have overcome not only those challenges, I'm still here. I didn't emotionally eat no matter how much I wanted to. So, with that being said, not only have I been consistent on this watermelon, but I have been consistent on this A-Game. And I am so grateful to be marrying A-Game with this watermelon juice cleanse and just watermelon washout in general. Because I started off eating it and now I'm juicing it, and I'm probably going to go back to eating it again soon, to be honest with you. And I'm committed to a minimum of 40 days. But generally speaking, this is a very intuitive journey, and we'll just see what happens. With that being said, marrying A-Game Herbal to this cleanse has been a game changer. Mind you, I did this watermelon washout last year and I made it to 12 days, which is funny because now I'm on my 12th day of juicing. But I feel like I probably could have made it uh for sure last year if I had the A-Game. Because the A-Game, what it does for me is, number one, what I noticed after probably the second or third time taking it, I was like, that suppresses my appetite. And so when I take it first thing in the AM, I get this jolt of energy. So now I'm just like, all of a sudden, you get this energy. It's kind of like comes out of it, literally just springs up on you, and you can feel the energy. Like if you have a cup of coffee, people will have their morning cup so that they can have their pick me up. That's how I treat A-Game. Like I make sure I start with my A-Game. Like I'll get up, I'll do my breath work in my guided breath work meditation routine. It's about 20 minutes. I'll make sure I make my bed and brush my teeth and do all the rising ritual things. But A-Game is a dedicated aspect of my rising ritual. And that's because I already know about 30 minutes, 40 minutes after taking it, that like it's like this extra boost of enthusiasm for life. I can't explain it, but it just does that. And it suppresses my appetite. So it makes it so easy to stick to the fruit. It's like, I don't know what to say besides I'm really grateful for that aspect of it alone. Then you have the physical, then you have like the physical, I don't want to say side effects, the physical benefits of taking A-Game as well. For me, what I love about A Game as far as like how I feel physically long term while doing it with the juice fast. Outside of the energy, the mental clarity, the focus, like literally I have actually been making more money at work because I've been able to concentrate and actually like just like sit down and make my sales calls and like schedule my appointments and do all the great things, right? So I'm actually increasing my in money, so it's like an investment that's worth making. Outside of that, I feel like my heart health has actually gotten better. Like my heart beats, like I am usually very tachycardic, so I was diagnosed with sinus tachycardia some a while ago. Since I started my lifestyle change, my heart rate in general is a lot better and it's under 100 beats per minute. However, I feel like my heart is so much stronger since I've been taking the A game uh because it gives me so much energy, there's so much more energy to exhaust. So I'm moving around more physically. Also, to get that good circulation of the herbs throughout your body, you should be consuming a lot of water. So I'm drinking a ton of water, which is good for increased hydration, flushing of what's not needed in the kidneys, on top of also just drinking on my juice. But I only drink the water in the morning. I really don't drink water any later in the day. And outside of that, improved heart health because I'm just moving around more, which is strengthening my heart and stabilizing my heart rate and bringing it down. I actually got my notes over here because it's like I need to keep track of my thoughts. Heart health improves, energy is off the chart, my ability to focus, that mental sharpness, and my blood pressure. I mean, my blood pressure definitely always goes down when I'm on my fruit feast regardless, but my kidneys need extra support. And again, if you go to that interview, I go more into detail about that. Having a doctor's visit and learning that, you know, my left kidney had like fluid around it and there was like a blockage there that they thought was like a kidney stone, but really it's related to my endometriosis creeping back in because of lifestyle changes, you know, and not for the best, but for the worst. But, you know, now I'm back on track and I'm starting and kicking this off with allowing my body to heal and regenerate by fasting on juice and watermelon. But the A games are like a beautiful support when it comes to that. Um, in general, I'm grateful for my discipline and ability to just be fasting in general. I don't know if I could do a water fast, but I can do a juice fast. I can do a water fast in a facility where I am super controlled in that sense, even though I feel like I could probably pull off a little 2 or 3 day water fast now that I've done all liquids. I don't even really want to chew, which is interesting. But yeah, and the A game though, so I'm single and I'm celibate and I'm not one of those single women who will have a little side piece or sneaky link. So one thing you do get is still though with A game is I do find myself being a bit more stimulated as far as libido goes and energy. And yeah, so that doesn't help kind of being stimulated in that sense sexually. I actually use that sexual energy and I transmute it into creativity. And yeah, and I feel like it's working for me because I've been disciplined enough to come on live almost every day, which was a goal I set out for myself to really start growing this channel and sharing my experience while I'm cleansing and while I'm healing, not only physically, but spiritually, mentally, just building that mental toughness. Someone said that I guarantee you can do a 4 day water fast. It's not as hard as you think. I think I'm more confident in my ability to do a water fast now that I have gone this long only drinking juice, just being on liquids in general. So I don't doubt my ability to do a water fast. I have attempted a water fast in the past, though. Last year, I tried to do a 3-day water fast. I don't think I made it past 48 hours. Girl, I was so weak physically that I ended up I actually broke it with watermelon. I ended up Instacarting food to be delivered to my apartment because I was so weak I couldn't even leave my apartment. Like I was like physically unfit to be doing a water fast, and I was drinking a lot of water. And I broke that thing with watermelon. I don't know if it was mental, but I instantly felt energized. I don't know, but that's just me when it comes to that. But I do actually intend on doing a 21-day water fast, but I want to do it in a controlled facility. So either I would go to True North Center in California or I would do Tanglewood in Costa Rica. Girl, I don't even want to do a 3-day dry fast. But you know what? Mono eating on anything for an extended fit period of time would actually motivate you to want to not eat anything at all. So if you can't have the things that your eyes are staring at and your tongue is salivating over, then you would just much rather not eat at all, especially if you're really committed to sticking through with the fast. So I get it. Um, yeah, I get it. What was I gonna say? The watermelon, right? So I'm on this watermelon juice. I've got like this high. No offense to True North, but after my research, you can only do Tanglewood. Trust me, Tanglewood is like my number one option. But ultimately, it's gonna be based on what's affordable. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers on. I looked at the numbers on Tanglewood when after Lauren Lockman was interviewed on Bobby's platform, but I haven't looked at True North's, and for me, it's going to be affordability based. But it's something I do genuinely want to do. I know that is going to be the best way to regenerate and restore and repair, just in general. And the watermelon juice, right? As much as I love it, I'm so glad I went and got some lemons today. Woo! And I juiced the whole lemon with the watermelon because the watermelon juice was starting to just be too sweet. And I was getting tired of sweet. They were good. They weren't nasty, but it was just that extreme of sweetness. I needed something to cut it. So I made the watermelon lemon juice, and I, with the peel still on the lemon. Ugh, thank you, God. It's exactly what I needed to balance out that it was too much sweet. It was just too much sweet after 12 days of just straight watermelon juice. And it's just like, there were a couple of occasions where I squeezed some key limes in my watermelon juice, but that wasn't often. And I really have been like really consistent on just nothing but watermelon. But today I'm like, yo, this is too sweet. And I actually just incorporated a new aspect into my cleansing. I'm going even deeper. I did an enema for the first time today. I received my package from, what is it called? Mother Earth's Blessings in Atlanta, Georgia. Adama Alaji. She's an amazing woman. If you don't know her, look her up. She's got a really great interview on this vegan linked network. I think it's got over 1 million views at this point. It's like insane. It's good. She's a very serious woman. So, anyways, she aids people with their detoxification journeys. And she has a detoxification protocol that requires clays. So the clays are magnetic. And when you do enemas with them and when you douche with them, the clays will attract a lot of the bacteria, the viruses, the funguses, a lot of the things that are just kind of sitting in our body, taking up space, leaving, just paying rent, living rent free in our bodies, basically, just sucking up resources, taking our energy and our vitality and our sense of well being away from us, parasites and things of that sort. So those clays, they attract to those heavy metals and all of that. And then it stimulates bowel movements. And then when you release the bowels, the clays are also bringing out a lot of what it attached itself to. So I've never done an enema outside of this in my life. I did do colon hydrotherapy cleansing like 3 or 4 years ago, one time. But that was like at a place, and that was cool. And but now I can do it from the comfort of my home. So I will be incorporating the enemas every rising. I'm gonna get up early enough to have that as a part of my routine. And also will be drinking the clays as well to stimulate the bowel movement, and then do the enema. So that's going to also be a part of my cleansing. So I'm taking full advantage of this, on top of also A-Game Herbal. I needed to do that enema. I didn't even know I needed to do it because I've never done one before. But on the watermelon cleanse, like, it's funny because you'll lose weight, you'll lose the weight, but I wasn't moving my bowels like that. So this part of it is huge because it's actually starting to move things out of me, aid in the assistance of getting some of the stuff out. I'm supposed to do the protocol every day until the clays are out. And it's like a big brick of clay. So it's like maybe that's probably like 3 months worth of clay. And I'm supposed to do it every day. So now that I'm cleansing, I'm going to take full advantage. Like, any tool that I can have in my arsenal to just get me back in a better state of health, to have me in a healthier, cleaner vessel, then I'm going to take advantage. I mean, it wasn't cheap. It was a couple $100s. I didn't plan on paying for that, honestly. She's actually going to be a guest on Juice Champs next month. And I was on her website and I asked her more about her detoxification and asked more about the clays. And she got into detail with it. And I was like, I want to do this, especially now that I'm in this state of mind and this level of discipline, this amount of commitment I have to my healing journey. So, yep. So, all the things, all of the things. But I do want to encourage people to, not necessarily the ones in the chat, because I already know we're all on our A game, but the ones who'll be watching the replay, to really check out A-Game Herbal. So I actually want to try something. I have never shared my screen on here. Okay, my browser blocked my screen, so I don't know if I can do it. Because on a previous show, I told people that I would do a live going through the 21 ingredients in A-Game. And they're all 21 Chinese herbs. And they're all a proprietary blend of the 21 Chinese herbs. Now, the herbs, they have proven results. So We have astragalus root, biota seeds, Acurantes bidentata. I'm gonna have to work on my pronunciations. Cherokee rose hips, Chinese wolfberry, Sistanchi or Kistanchi, maybe. Cornus, Cuscuta, Cinnamorium, Dengue, Epimedium, Eucomia, Ginkgo biloba, ginseng, licorice, lotus seed, milk vetch, polygala, tanu e folia, red raspberry, Romania root, rhodiola crepulata. So those are the 21. So there are two versions of A-Game. No, there's the women's formula and the men's formula. Both have majority of the same herbs, but there are some differences in the woman's herbs. So the women's herbs have the red raspberry, which contains strong antioxidants such as vitamin C, quercetin, which aid in helping your body produce a high level of antioxidants. A-Game includes the red raspberry for its benefits, and the research says that it's good for heart disease, circulatory disease, and age-related decline. It's also really powerful for women's reproductive health as well. Romania root improves kidney function. For men, improves male urinary tract health, the cardiovascular system. Rhodiola caplata is good for athletic performance, adrenal glands, reducing stress, sexual function. The polygala tenuifiola, increasing cognitive abilities, increasing mental acuity, increasing the sexual experience. See, that's the one I get the most. But I tell you, if it's anything, I feel that the most. These three things: the increasing of the cognitive abilities, the increasing of the mental acuity. I mean, the sexual experience, I haven't had a sexual experience in a couple of years. However, I can say that I do get sexually stimulated, and I just transmute that sexual energy into creativity by creating things, by putting it into my work. And now I am doing some things behind the scene to start really focusing on my online business, to really start turning my passion into my form of income, my way of living, so that I can really live my dreams to the highest capacity. Like, I want to travel more. I want to actually relocate somewhere warmer. I want to start living that life where I can work completely from home, making products that help improve the life of the people who are inspired by me and my journey. And I mean, there will be a lot of growth that a lot of people will witness. And I'm just grateful to be here. And I know that A-Game is going to be a part of that growth. And for me, I'm just kind of biased. When I like something for one thing, that's kind of like what I like it for. So, like all of these herbs, I love that they're in the background working on my physical health in different ways that I can't even imagine. But I love the stuff that I could always feel in real time. And, like that addictive personality aspect of who I am is the person who, that instant gratification part. What I do like about A-Game is the instant gratification aspect of the mental acuity, the amount of physical energy it gives me, on top of the natural energy I already have being a fruitarian, you know? And I love that even though I don't have a sexual partner right now, I can literally transmute sexual energy and alchemize it into turning it into something so much bigger than where I'm at currently, and allowing me that imagination to be there and do so. Um, so the milk vetch is good for the immune system. It promotes normal urination. It reduces blood pressure. And lotus seed, it's good for your kidney function, related to sexual conditions. Uh, for men, seminal discharge problems and treating erectile dysfunction. So it's really going to be helpful for men if they are dealing with erectile dysfunction issues, if they're having a little bit of trouble in that aspect of their sexual experience. And if they're just having any kind of reproductive health issues in that sense, the lotus seed is going to be really good for that. And then we have the ginkgo biloba, which is great for blood circulation, memory and retention loss, and antioxidant activity. And so it's great for opening up the blood vessels and making the blood less sticky. And yeah, I've actually, like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom had a boyfriend. He always used to buy these little shots of ginkgo biloba, which was interesting. So it's got ginseng in there. Ginseng is widely used in traditional herbal medicines. A-Game provides ginseng in its formulation to produce and help in maintaining firmer, longer lasting erections that are easier to attain and help for men. Um, and this is, what their research says, and the based on the reviews that a lot of men have given. So it helps reduce the erectile dysfunction, male impotence, and increase energy levels. And then it's got the licorice root inside of it, which is alleviating for food poisoning, repairing peptic ulcers, and reducing heartburn. It's extremely anti-inflammatory, and it's a really good boosting herb that has boosting properties. And then eucomia, it's fortifying your bones, improving blood pressure, it's treating hypertension. So it's really good for those kidneys. It's really good if you are hypertensive and you suffer from high blood pressure. Um, it's something to consider. That also is something that I'm benefiting from. When I first started this, I was eating some of the vegan junk foods and I was being more social, and that was for like my mental health, and it was a goal of mine. So I relaxed like my standards when it comes to like how I was eating when I would go out with friends. Like I would keep it plant-based, but just because it's plant-based doesn't mean it's healthy, or keep it vegan, I should say. And my blood pressure was really sensitive to eating anything like salted outside of the things I was preparing at home. So, since taking the A-Game very regularly, along with improving my diet, my blood pressure has certainly improved. They have the epimedium, which is good for the men, improved male potency, increased libido, and has an aphrodisiac effect. So, excuse me. You've got the Chinese wolfberry. It's good for improving your vision and health, increase antioxidant activity, and enhancing the immune system. So there's a lot of good benefits in a lot of these herbs. It's over 21 of them. They're all, perfectly and synergistically blended together to work for you on a day-to-day basis while giving you increased and improved energy. Like, I'm here for it personally, and I would highly encourage anybody to give it a try. I know it's a bit of an investment, but it's an investment that has personally made me money because of the mental acuity, because of the increased and heightened energy. So definitely do some research into A-Game Herbal. And if you decide that you want to give it a go, you can get it for 10% off using my discount, which is L Taylor 10. Okay. So yeah. As far as where I'm headed, we on day 13 tomorrow. And I am just super grateful to have made it past day 12. These past 2 to 3 days have been extremely stressful for your girl. I was closing on a condo and things are going smooth up until the final walkthrough. And there were things in a storage container that, honestly, this is my fault because it's my professional responsibility to have noticed whether or not there were things left behind in the storage. And there was a tenant occupying the unit when I first listed it, and she ended up moving out. And when she moved out, there were her items that were in the storage container that I didn't go back to check after she moved out. So I went in there, I took pictures of everything. I actually didn't even know where the storage container was. I had asked the owner where the storage container was, And she told me to ask the tenant because she was unsure. Then I asked the tenant, and the tenant never really gave me an answer. So it's just one of those things like, okay, I don't know where it's at. I'm not about to stress myself out trying to figure it out right now. But I took care of everything. I listed the property. Everything came out beautifully. We got a offer really close to when we listed it. Accepted the offer. It was a good offer. Quick closing, no inspection. Everything seemed really good up until that point. The buyers wanted the stuff out of the container, out of the storage container, before they were willing to move forward on closing the property. And which is fine. I ended up like it's fine, but it was kind of stressful at the time because this was literally a day before closing. So it was late at night, and I literally was like Googling local places to see who can come and remove the junk within less than 24 hours, basically by the next morning. And I found a place, reasonable price. The owner agreed to the price and all of that. Then I rush over. I didn't even think they were going to come the following day because the day came, the time frame we set up for, they didn't reach out to me. So now I'm like over here, like, dang, I have to find an alternative place to come and get this stuff. We have to close today. It was just a lot of stress because there was a time window. So I'm the one dealing with the stress. The owner's not dealing with anything. She's like out of state. I'm the agent. I'm boots on the ground. I'm the one running around doing everything. I'm the one who fronted the cost to pay for the storage removal company to get the stuff. And then the lady actually is like not trying to pay me my money back because she's blaming me for why there was stuff inside of the storage, because if I should have caught it weeks ago. Like, I don't know. You don't understand when things like that happen. I want to eat. When things like that, instinctively, whenever I'm dealing with stressful situations or crisis mode, when I'm in crisis mode and when it's over, like instantly in the past, like, well, a few years ago at this point when I was a drinker, it would be like, oh my God, I need a drink. Do you know how fast old me, like 4 or 5 years ago, me would have ran to the nearest sushi spot because I loved going to Japanese places to get a really stiff mango Mai Tai? I would have got a watermelon Mai Tai. That's what I would have done. And I would have got me some wings and some sushi rolls, and I would have eaten that frustration. I would have eaten those emotions. And I wanted to actually still eat my emotions. I just didn't want those things. What I wanted was a salad. I wanted to just say, you know what? A salad is not going to hurt me. I can go and get me a salad. A salad is not bad for my health. It's not going to mess up anything. But I didn't want a salad. I wanted the salt that was on the dressing that would be on that salad. It's interesting how when you're abstaining from something and you're challenging yourself to fast and to not eat all these things that you're used to eating, how above yourself you are and how much in observance mode you can be of yourself and your behaviors and how you respond to the events in life. And a lot of us, without realizing it, we eat our emotions. It doesn't matter what the emotion is: frustration, anger, annoyance, worry, love, hate, fear, happiness, excitement. We just want to eat. That's how we respond. It's like it's a triggering response to everything. We have associated eating to celebrate, eating to sulk, eating to forget, eating to numb. And I was even thinking about eating something healthy to numb the frustration of the situation. But I didn't allow myself to. And I feel like this is less of a physical exercise than it really is a mental one, because it's so easy to physically do something that's even still so called. I could have gone and eaten a mango and wouldn't have been physically harmful to me, But mentally, I would have felt a way about it because I've challenged myself to only eat watermelon. So it's really amazing how this puts us outside of ourselves. It's just like in a whole different way, spiritually, mentally. It really has us analyzing our behaviors and analyzing our responses. And it helps us to sit with our emotions. And emotions are energy in motion. So we are allowing the energy in motion to actually move up and out of us instead of dealing with the situation and then suppressing it by not allowing ourselves to fully experience and feel it all the way through. Because now that it's over, I'm not stewing in it anymore. I'm not still thinking about it. I'm not still all in my head like, oh, this and that. Like, I can't believe they did this and complaining about it and telling everybody. Like, it's over. It is what it is. You just got to take your L's and move on. I've learned from it. I'll tell you one thing, I'll never front the cost of anything on the behalf of a buyer. I'm sorry, on the behalf of a seller. They're going to have to front the cost. If you need me to get something done, I'm going to need you to get me the funds beforehand, or it's just not going to get done. And then where does that leave us? There's learning lessons for everything in life. And we only learn them, though, when we allow ourselves to sit in our emotions and really be in observance of ourselves instead of running to the first fix of eating something that's pleasurable. So this is definitely a mental and spiritual development exercise. Every fast is. Every fast is. But for me, this is the hardest thing to do. I've never done a juice fast for this long, for number one. So I really feel like this is my spirit taking the wheel. Maybe it started off as free will and discipline, but now I feel like something higher than me has taken the wheel and has kept me above the desire to consume, above the self-sabotage cycle, above putting what's best for me off and pushing it out in the future. Like, oh, I'm going to start Monday. Oh, I'm starting next week. That's literally putting what's best for us out into the future. That's putting a hold on our greatness, putting a delay on the blessings, putting a delay on what we know for a fact is going to increase or improve our quality of life. We like to put it on delay so that we can just keep harming ourselves for a little bit longer. That's addiction. That's addiction. So it's really about overcoming these addiction cycles and really seeing ourselves as addicts, because the things that we want to consume are not things that our bodies are naturally designed for. And if it's not naturally designed for it, that means you're forcing it to overwork itself so that it can try its hardest to process the chemical agent, the foreign agent from the body. So discipline will get us started for sure, but discipline has to evolve into devotion, into being devoted to ourselves, to being devoted to our personal development, being devoted to our bodies, just being devoted. Devotion is love based, and discipline has like that connotation of of sacrifice, of negativity. So you can start off discipline, but discipline definitely has to evolve into devotion. You have to become devoted to the process. And as soon as I get that urge to put something inside of me that I know doesn't belong, I really have to play the tape through. Just like if you go to Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, they're going to tell you before you use and before you pick up, play the tape through. So you're going to go and get that fix. You're going to get that hit for that temporary pleasure, for that temporary sense of peace that you're chasing. And then what? And then you're back in active addiction. And then you're becoming that lower version of yourself again that's harmful to people, that's that people, that repel people, that people don't want to be around. You're that person that is embarrassing themselves without realizing it. People are staring at you while you're in active addiction. You don't realize it because you're in the addiction. But I play the tape through when it comes to eating a vegan burger. I play the tape through when it comes to eating some french fries. The tape is that I have been through that cycle so many times. What happens? What happens is I always tell myself, "Oh, I can just have this and then go back to eating my fruit." But what really happens? Do I always go back to just eating my fruit? No. You know what happens? I'll allow myself to have that meal. And let's say I do have my fruit afterwards. I'll go like another 2 or 3 days. But then I'll think to myself, see, I have self discipline. I had that, and then I was able to stay on fruit. So I'm going to just have one more of that meal. I'm going to have something else. I'm going to go get me some vegan tacos. That looks good. I'm going to go and get that. And then I do that. And then slowly but surely, it creeps and it tiptoes into getting back into that ordering out food cycle, staring at menus. Then I'm back into full blown addiction cycle. I don't even want to eat fruit. I don't even want to eat salads. Like all I want is to just eat that salty fruit, that salty food. I want the complex carbs. I want to chew on the wheat and the dough and the wraps, and I want the crunchy from the fried, and I just want all of that. Like I always play the tape through, and then what happens? It triggers symptoms back in my body. Inevitably, my skin starts to break out. Inevitably, I start to get all this mucus and stuff in my chest. Inevitably, my periods start becoming irregular again. I start bleeding and spotting in between periods. Inevitably. And then now I'm back to, because I feel like crap, trying to wean myself off of the addictive foods and get back on track to the fruit or the vegetables or just eating healthy and unprocessed in general. It's always either or. So I have to play the tape through and be realistic with myself. And I have to be dedicated and devoted to my healing journey. Give my body the true opportunity and the chance to really self-repair, to really be regenerated, not regenerating, but regenerated to a degree where every muscle, every organ system in my body is so strong that it's not going to take a simple meal to trigger back extreme symptoms. So it really is about self devotion, knowing that we have to get out of the instant gratification mindset. We have to stop eating things for pleasure only at the time that we want it without considering what the outcome and what the consequences of that decision is going to be. We always know what the outcome is. We put on them extra pounds. Like I don't really gain weight easily, not anymore at least, but I will get that little like hormone pouch in my abdominal area. So even though I'll be skinny, I'll still have like that hormone pouch where my stomach isn't completely flat. And I don't like how that looks. And that's all visceral fat that's around the reproductive organs. And that's terrible for reproductive health. It throws off the balance of our hormones. It provides, it ends up increasing the estrogen levels, which is why, I have like the issue with the endometriosis and the reproductive health history. is because, everything that I consume, those toxins tend to just pack on in that lower abdominal region, and that visceral fat. All fat stores toxins. So now you've got all these fat cells over your ovaries and fallopian tubes and your uterus, and all those fat cells have all these toxins inside of them, and they're just sitting there like everything is okay and normal. And then we just want to keep packing on all of the toxins inside of our bodies, lying to ourselves, telling ourselves we're going to start tomorrow, we're going to start Monday, just putting our healing on hold because we just want to eat and be a little bit, more toxic. We just want to keep putting disease and feeding disease just for a little bit longer. We need to get that disease forming taste that we have and craving that we have out the way before we start doing what's good for ourselves. So just gotta do what's best for ourselves. But this is nearing an hour. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in. All of the people watching me live, I appreciate you. I love you. I just wanted to come over here, give a little brief update on the day 12. I have been keeping on with the keeping on, despite how hard it was, despite the challenges I've been facing in regular everyday life, and just every day learning how to overcome myself a little bit more each day. So it's been all watermelon juice, and it has also been my A-Game herbals. I'm now incorporating my enema routine. I did my first enema for the first time today. It was a little bit of a weird thing to get used to and a learning curve, but I'm sure I'll get used to it as I progress, because I am in this energy and I'm going to take full advantage of being in this energy. So all the protocols that I can pair up to become the most supercharged version of myself, then I'm going to ride the wave. So don't forget, every episode is always going to be sponsored by A-Game Herbal. This is the woman's formula. This has been keeping me powered. I'm plant powered and A-Game powered. This is for maximum performance. This is for mental acuity, mental sharpness, physical energy, libido, immune strength, blood circulation, heart health, all the things. You can use my discount code LTaylor10. That will get you 10% off of your first order. And if you need any assistance or if you have any questions before you take your first, I don't want to say dose, it's not medication. But you take your first round of the herbs, reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Lachey Taylor on Facebook, or you can email me. That's at blackpineapple@gmail.com. That's black with a 6, LACK, pineapple@gmail.com. And I'm out. I love you guys. Bye.